So Marshan, hashtag Disney Diva Thomas. Marshan is a friend of the channel. She comments on a lot of my videos. She is amazing. She is really, really fun. She calls us the CNN of Disney.
Oh,
because I guess because we talk a lot about like issues and stuff. We're not like bloggers, park
right.
bloggers. We're more like, the news and analyzing what's going on. And she's fun. She's a lot of fun. So
that's cool.
Yeah, she's been a sub for a really long time, and we do appreciate her. But she's asking here, do you think they are going to reopen the top passes, which she's talking about the Magic Key passes again? Because I find it hard to believe they were sold out. As with the older passes, they were never sold out. As in the words of Bernie Mac, this is some bullshit.
Yep.
Shake my head. Now, Marshan, you are 100% right. Look, these passes are not like an item. This isn't like an Orange Bird sippy cup, right? That can physically sell out. These are passes that Disney, if they wanted to, they can sell forever. This is the thing. They don't want to sell them forever. Disney has been looking at ways. I've been in this community for a very long time. Okay, very, very long time, 20 plus years. Okay. And I'm telling you, Disney has been looking for ways to minimize the annual pass thing since the early 2000s. I'm not even joking. There's been rumors of this since the early 2000s. And I think what's going on here, Marshan, is that it's all about, and I know this sounds really gross, but this is the nature of the business, They talk a lot about yield management. They want to get the most financially out of each guest. And look, bodies in the park for the sake of bodies in the park does Disney no good. When you have an annual pass program where a person can pay $1,400 and go whenever they want, there's no limitation. After, 6 or 7 visits, Disney's losing money on that person. And a lot of pass holders will do that. They'll go like 5, 6, 7 times a month, and they're losing money on those people, because a lot of those people, not all of them, a lot of them will bring their own lunches. It's like Disney on a dollar kind of situation.
Yeah.
So that's the issue, Marshan, is that they don't want to have people in the park just for the sake of having people in the park. And that's why I disagree with a lot of content creators. They say, oh, well, Disney is really desperate right now. They want to get these Magic Key people back in. They're going to get rid of reservations. They're not going to get rid of reservations, guys. I'm telling you right now. I could be wrong, but I'm calling it. I really think that Disney does not want that situation to return to the resort. They want to make sure that if you're going to go to the resort, you're going to spend money. And if you're not going to spend money, they're going to limit access. I think that's what the name of the game is right now. And I think that's pretty much where we stand. I think that's going to be the situation for a very long time. But Dre, what are you feeling on this, man? What like Marshan's saying, hey, do you think they're going to bring the top passes back in? Do you think they're going to bring them back? Why are they restricting this? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think that the reason why they're restricting selling passes is interesting. I think they're looking at maybe redoing the system. Honestly, I think they're reevaluating and going, are people getting kind of enough access? Are they getting too much access? How can we, what can we do in order to kind of achieve our goals, which is limiting access, but also provide, a quality ish product for the people who actually buy it, right? And so I think they might be holding back on actually selling these passes just to kind of see if they can kind of adjust this system that they have in place right now. I don't think it works quite to their liking. Right. We obviously know that it doesn't quite work to the liking of annual pass holders or Magic Key holders as we speak, right? So I think before the top tier passes go on sale again, I think we might see an adjustment, whether it be price, services, features, that kind of thing. I think that's very, very likely. When it comes to the reservation system, it's tough. I mean, operationally, I think you could make the argument either way. I think you can make the argument that it's absolutely necessary, and I think you can make the argument that it might not necessarily be necessary for in all circumstances, in all cases, right? I think there could be a middle ground. I think we've talked about that before.
Yep.
But the reality is right now, and this is the thing. I mean, right now, cast, that is the biggest. That's the biggest cloud hanging over the head of Disneyland Resort right now, and Walt Disney World too. But Disneyland Resort is very, very interesting. For example, the cast situation is so dire right now that they cannot saturate all of their restaurant capacity, right? So when you make a reservation, you're only making a reservation for a portion of that overall restaurant capacity, simply because they don't have servers. You try to make a reservation at Trader Sam's. You go down there, you check, and you're looking at empty tables, and yet there's no availability on the app, right? And when you actually get in there, by the grace of God, bartenders will actually say, "Oh my God, it's been so slow," because they're not allowed to. They're only allowed to facilitate how many people can actually be in there, and what management actually suggests is suitable for the amount of set they have. Wow. Even though there's capacity, there's available seating, there's seemingly available food in the back to serve these people. They just don't have enough people to facilitate that. And we're seeing it at Blue Bayou. The Cove Bar, interestingly enough, was actually closed for an entire day simply because they had no staff to run that. That was over this past week that happened. So it's those kind of things. The reservation system is absolutely needed to control and ensure that their parks aren't going to be overrun.
Right. No, 100%, 100%. Disney wants as much control as possible. And I've said this before, and I made this analogy in many, many videos, but not everyone watches every video. So I tend to repeat myself a little bit because, this video might be new to somebody, right?
Yeah.
But I like to use the analogy when it comes to park spending and where Disney's mind is at in regards to a mall, right? Mm-hmm. It's you can go into a mall, and it can be wall-to-wall high school kids just hanging out, right? And all these kids are just hanging out. They're sitting on the fountain. They're all talking, socializing. Well, when you walk in as an outsider, you look at the mall and you go, wow, this mall is packed. There's a lot of people here. They must be making a ton of money. Well, not really, though, because they're all just a bunch of kids just chilling, hanging out, and talking. They're not spending any money. Right?
Yes.
And look, that's kind of the situation when it comes to a lot of Magic Key holders. Not all. I know there's some people that spend a lot, but I'm just saying in general, it's kind of the situation where it's if you take the reservation system away, you're going to get more people, more bodies in the park. But are those key holders spending money? Probably not. A lot of key holders, including myself, and I'm guilty in this, will bring their own lunch, will bring their own drinks, they'll bring waters. They're not spending a whole lot of money at the park.
Yeah.
So you have a body in the park. Yeah, the park looks busy. Oh my God, there's people everywhere, but there's no one spending any money. Right. And that's why I think that people kind of the mind says it's well, yeah, why wouldn't Disney want more people in the park? They don't want more people in the park. They want what they have now, but those people that are in there now are just spending more money. They don't want bodies for the sake of bodies. They just don't. And that's why you're never going to see, at least, look, I can't predict the future 20 years in advance. But right now, from now for the next 3 or 4 years, 5 years, they're not getting rid of the reservation system. They don't want that problem again with people just hanging out and then losing money. They want to make more money out of each individual guest. Disney's been thirsty for this for years to reimagine this program and to really mitigate the situation. They're not going to give up on it. They're not. It's here to stay, guys.
At least for the time being. And honestly, it comes down to, like you said, that per guest spend. Just because you have bodies doesn't mean they're all kind of spending at the same level, right? They're spending at various degrees, and we're kind of seeing how they get a little bit more money out of us, right? For example, Genie Plus isn't included as part of a Magic Key, whereas in previous forms of the annual pass, Max Pass was included at certain tiers. We're only seeing parking included at certain tiers. We're seeing these things kind of parsed out in a way to kind of encourage that guest spend, and that's a trend that's going to continue. Unfortunately, unfortunately, hey, look, the Disney parks have to make more money quarter over quarter, and that's going to come out of our pockets, unfortunately. And the way you ensure that is if you are choosy about who you let in. I'll put it as simple as that. And it's unfortunate, but it's the hard reality. You have a set supply. JPEG talked about this when talking about the metaverse or even like Disney Plus, right? You have a set supply when it comes to how many people you let into these parks. And so it's like, okay, if you have a set supply and you can't exceed it, how can you increase profitability? Well, you get, a guess that makes a little bit more. That's as easy as I can put it. And unfortunately, I've seen the internal numbers of what they're targeting. It's a lot.
Right. Yeah. No. 100%. 100%. So this stuff, I think that they're going to play this kind of shell game for a long time, guys. And little details here and there might change. Like we're already seeing now, they're going to start kind of punishing people that make reservations and don't show up.
Sure.
We're going to see changes and tweaks along the way, but the overall system, the reservation system, is here to stay. The days of people just buying an annual pass, buying a Magic Key, and just coming whenever they want are over. Hey, you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. I'll eat it all day long. I don't care if I'm wrong. In my opinion, I really don't think that that's going to happen. I think that they're really married to this reservation system for a lot of reasons, and it's not going anywhere, unfortunately.
Frustrating.